In this video, I'm gonna talk about fear. Do pilots get scared? And if at all they do, what are few of the worst nightmares for a pilot and how do they overcome these? So if you're ready, fasten those seatbelts because we're ready for takeoff. What's up fellow aviators and welcome back to the FlyTuber, flying simplified through YouTube. My name is Ali Asghar and on this channel I talk about interesting aviation facts and aircraft knowledge. So if you are an aviation enthusiast and are passionate about aircrafts and aviation facts and knowledge and information, consider subscribing. Well, if you are one of the frequent flyers, then chances are that you may have spotted certain passengers that are really scared to hop on aircraft. And even if they manage to board the aircraft, it's really a very nerve-wracking experience for them to sit in that seat, especially as soon as the aircraft starts throttling down the runway. तो यहाँ पे सवाल ये उठता है कि जैसे पैसेंजर्स को डर लगता है, तो क्या सिमिलरली पायलट्स को भी डर लगता है? And if I were to answer that question in a simple plain yes or no, the answer would be yes. Pilots को भी डर लगता है, but there is much more to it. So continue watching. Well, just to be clear, pilots को flying से या aircraft की speed से या उसकी height से या फिर looking down beneath from such heights, इन सब चीज़ों से pilots को generally डर नहीं लगता. Because this is literally something which we do day in and day out. ये हमारा रोज का routine है and moreover we have been doing these things really since our training started. बात रही passengers की, so mostly passengers like 99% of the time they are only scared of any mishap or a crash happening because they might have seen a particular air crash video recently या फिर उन्होंने कोई air crash की news पढ़ी या फिर कहीं देखा होगा. पायलट्स के केस में ऐसा नहीं है. When we are talking about crashing or something like that, pilots aren't really scared of that either because हमको इस मशीन के ऊपर बहुत ही ज़्यादा भरोसा है. Aircraft are really very trustworthy machines. Believe me, all these small components and systems which are fitted in an aircraft, they go through a lot of trying and testing before they are even certified to get on board and be fitted over there. And moreover, ऐसे ही systems duplicate भी लगे होते हैं just for a backup. And if you want to know more about backup and redundancy, you can just click on this link iCard and you will go to the video on redundancy which I have made earlier. And another side note here is that अगर किसी को इन सब चीज़ों से डर लगता भी है, then it's highly unlikely that he or she will opt this field to be his career. Although my personal suggestion is अगर आप उनमें से हैं that you are scared of flying and you are passionate about aviation and want to become a pilot, I really suggest you that you punch fear in the face and try it out once, because एक बार you overcome this fear, there is literally tremendous amount of amazing things that you will discover in this field. So with all that away, what are the things that we pilots are really scared of? And to answer that in a single line, we really are scared of those things that we don't have any control over. Technical issues and problems which we have a little bit of control over, yeah, we can find a workaround. We are not scared of those things. या फिर technical problems which don't hamper the safety of flight, we are not scared of that either. For example, the in-flight entertainment system, अगर वो खराब हो जाता है, it really doesn't matter. The only thing is obviously passenger experience अच्छा नहीं होगा and you won't be able to watch your favorite movie. But from the safety standpoint, it really doesn't matter. Following are few of the worst fears of a pilot. Obviously the list has more contents, but I will just list 3 of my picks here just so that you get a context of what pilots are really scared of. And the first one is onboard fire. आग एक बहुत ही dangerous चीज़ है, आप सबको ये बात पता ही होगी. But if a fire is in an apartment or a room, you can escape that. But if an aircraft catches fire, you don't have any place to run and you are pretty much stuck there. And that's why it's really dangerous and you have to land as soon as possible. The way fire can pose threat in flight is really fire itself can be dangerous and passengers can burn to death. अगर fire से they are not burned, the smoke coming out of fire is really toxic and the passengers can really suffocate to death. अगर ये सब ना भी हो, the aircraft has a lot of computers which control these all of these flight control surfaces through a lot of wires, and if these wires catch fire, then the aircraft will pretty much be unflyable, and that's very dangerous situation. आपके हाथ में एक अगर कार की स्टीयरिंग दे दूं मैं, and if it doesn't have any effect, या फिर उसके brakes fail हो जाएं, isn't it dangerous? Similarly, the aircraft becomes very dangerous and unflyable. Before I move on to the next point, did you know that pilots are actually not scared of a single engine failure, because अगर एक engine fail हो भी जाता है, then one engine alone is sufficient to support the hefty weight of the entire aircraft. Okay, so next up is mechanical or structural failure. Mechanical failure होता यह है कि it happens because of a few lags या फिर errors while maintenance or manufacturing. Although let me reiterate that it is very rare कि ऐसा कुछ हो, but still sometimes a small error as small as one small screw being misplaced or going missing, it can bring down a whole aircraft. And structural failure is caused due to metal fatigue or corrosion over time. मैंने सेम रिडंडेंसी वाली वीडियो में बताया था कि हाउ दी वॉल्स ऑफ द एयरक्राफ्ट और द फ्यूसलाज एज इट्स कॉल्ड is subjected to a lot of pressure changes, and over time वो जो metal होता है it gets fatigued, and this metal fatigue can lead to a hull loss or a breakup mid-air. Although regular checks always make sure that these walls actually keep the aircraft in one piece. And again, I'm not scaring you, but this is very rare, but yes, it may happen. Moving on towards the last point in my list, we are not alone in air. There are other creatures flying as well. And by that I don't mean small beautiful butterflies. I'm talking about huge birds here. Birds like wild Canada geese. These birds pose a dramatic threat to the safety of aircraft. Yes, I'm talking about bird strikes. Bird strikes damage the airframe of the aircraft, and it also might surge the engine. Although the engine is priorly tested by throwing dead chicken or turkey at it to see if the engine can survive a bird hit. But still, if it's not your lucky day, a whole flock of these huge birds can hit. The best example I can give you is US Airways flight 1549. Yes, the miracle over the Hudson as it's more commonly known, or if you might have missed, you can watch the movie Sully. Well, pilots are not scared of a single engine failure, but like it's shown in the movie, and which was actually the case, when the flock of bird hits and both the engine gets damaged and there is a complete loss of power, then you are in deep trouble, and this is what one pilot won't want in his entire career and will obviously be scared of it. That's where I'm closing my list here. Obviously there are other failures or scenarios as well, but now moving on to what steps do we as pilots take so as to overcome these fears. And the best way to put how we tackle these fears is, if you are prepared, you won't get scared. Now, even though these emergencies are really very rare, and in the entire career as a pilot, chances are that you won't even face any such situation in your entire career, but still, every pilot needs to undergo certain checks every 6 months known as PPC or Pilot's Proficiency Check. I'll talk about it in later. These checks are done in simulators, and it's basically designed so that pilots can revise handling these emergency situations which in an aircraft wouldn't have been possible, and also so that senior pilots check the juniors that these concepts are really thorough and the pilot is able to handle these emergency situations. And we as pilots also have to undergo mandatory annual refresher courses wherein we study these systems in depth, so that all the concept is really crystal clear and we know about whatever the failure is and how to tackle them. By the way, as you know, this channel is new, and like I said in previous videos as well, I'm gonna put all the links to the upcoming videos which I mentioned here as soon as I've made those videos down in the description and also in the iCard. So just to sum it up, the way we tackle and overcome these fears is literally we practice these situations a lot. Yes, these emergency situations, we practice them so much that if at all, God forbid, a pilot finds himself in such an emergency situation and scenario, he would have practiced that scenario so much in the simulators that he's not scared of it at all, and he just handles it pretty well. Question of the day: are you scared of flying? And if yes, which part of the flight is most terrifying for you? Don't forget to comment down below. That's it for today. I hope that after watching this video, you will be able to throw the fear away while boarding the next aircraft you are going in. Because I explained you, right? Aircraft is a very trustworthy machine and pilots have really honed their skills of handling these emergency scenarios. So I hope that even you will be fearless like pilots are. Do not forget to comment below and do hit the like button and share this video as much as possible. And if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel and happy landings.